of researchers dedicated to restoring African history, culture, and greatness. Yeah. Yo, the winds from the Sahara carry whispers of kings, golden crowns, royal thrones. Yo, we built these things. No sculptures in the dirt, what's a dime in the clay? They try to bury our greatness, but we rise every day. Benin's gates gleam, steel sharper than blades. Art so divine, man, even time's amazed. We charted the stars while the world stayed blind. Africa's heartbeat, never lose your mind. Garvey laid the vision, black star in the sky. Said lift your head high, never bow, never cry. Unity is armor, power's in our name. From griot chants to street poets spitting flame. The Syndicate, it's the power of the push. From the roots to the crown, yo, they can't overlook. The Syndicate, black unity is trust. Forever African, it's bigger than us. Yo, we fix bronze heads, tell a story of pride. Ashanti's gold glimmers with the ancestors' guide. The knowledge from Timbuktu wasn't just for the rich, it was seeds for the future, truth carved in the script. Look back, Sankofa, we reclaim what was ours, planting seeds of the past while we reach for the stars. West African wisdom still flows in the veins of the brothers and the sisters, breaking modern day chains. Power ain't in trinkets, it's the soul that we clutch. They can steal the resources, but the culture's untouched. Yo, unity's the weapon and the mind is the shield. African greatness, that's the battlefield. The Syndicate, it's the power of the push. From the roots to the crown, yo, they can't overlook. The Syndicate, black unity is trust. Forever African, it's bigger than us. We ain't lose the war, they just shifted the game. But the drum beat of Africa still echoes the same. Kente cloth flows like the Nile through our blood. Royal lineage shines even when we're in the mud. We architects of rhythm, designers of the sound. Bird civilizations where humanity's found. This ain't no fairy tale, this the essence of life. Africa's the sun, yo, we're giving it light. Garvey whispered dreams, but now we're shouting it loud. Black unity is power, we ain't blending with crowds. Yo, the Syndicate's the squad, the culture's the flame. Stay true to your roots and never forget the name. The Syndicate, it's the power of the push. From the roots to the crown, yo, they can't overlook. The Syndicate, black unity is trust. Forever African, it's bigger than us. The Syndicate, it's the power of the push. From the roots to the crown, yo, they can't overlook. The Syndicate, black unity is trust. Forever African, it's bigger than us. They tried to write us out, but we rewrote the book. Africa ain't just the past, it's the future. They tried to write us out, but we rewrote the book. Confused, we are the Syndicate.
Poor City coming right back at y'all. Thank you guys for joining. Make sure you guys hit the like screen, tap that like button. We appreciate it. Today, me and the brother Suitin, we're going to talk about yesterday's debate. Let me go ahead and bring the brother up right now. If you guys have not watched the debate, go ahead and go check out Natural's channel. Him and a brother by the name of Big Red had a debate. Just so we're clear, he ain't had nothing to do with the Syndicate. We ain't had nothing to do with that debate. I was called by Brother Suitin to try to host this joint, and I tried to see if I can reach out and help. But by that time, they had already secured the debate. I think the title of the debate was, were there any Nigroid people in America prior to colonization or prior to colonialism, or whatever. And I think the debate went on for about an hour or two or so. It appeared that Natural won that debate. I will give him credit for being prepared. It appeared by the optics. But when you dissect what happened and when you look at it, the evidence tell a different story altogether. So that's what we're going to try to talk about today a little bit. We ain't going to hold you guys long. I got my brother on the other side. And we're just gonna go by this debate that they had. Now, the first thing in the debate that I recognized was it wasn't organized at all over there. It seemed like everybody was in the room trying to orchestrate the debate. This is something I think they should arrange prior to getting together. You had Top Cat over there. You had all types of people over there. It sounded like it was a circus, but it finally got calmed down, and you know, they got in the ring and they started going at it. But like I said, the optics look bad for the brother Red. I'm not gonna lie. His information that he had, I think, would have been solid had he been able to share it a lot better. I think the brother was on his phone and he didn't have an opportunity to, I think, really kind of nail in visually, so he can command the audience in a way. But I'm just going to go over a little bit of it, just to show you guys what's happening with this channel. I'm going to share the screen.
T3 had to fire up. We don't.
Okay, so I'm just going to play a little bit of it at a time, whatever. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Juju, I see you in the chat. Everybody go ahead and hit that like. But yeah, I'm gonna play a little bit of the beginning. If y'all want to watch the whole jump, go ahead and watch it on his YouTube, and you'll see the circus that we're talking about. I'm just gonna break down key points and what Brother Natural was trying to convey and stuff like that. We're gonna do a comprehensive breakdown on some key points and stuff like that. But this shit was a circus. I'm gonna tell you, this don't got nothing to do with the Syndicate. Don't go around and say, yo, that the Syndicate got beaten, all of that. Nah, all of our shit most of the time is on this side of the fence. You know, that just goes to show our debates is a little bit different than what that was. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all a little bit of the just the craziness that was going on over there.
Don't need to go around that. Now, however you try to substantiate that claim during the debate, that's your prerogative. Do your thing. But we got to understand what the debate is about and what the premise is. That's it. Nobody stopped me from your you substantiating your premise. That's your prerogative.
Excuse me, hey, but if you don't act like a proper moderator or a proper host, you're gonna end up getting kicked out of this debate.
Well, we didn't get there yet. That's all natural.
It's the first minute into the debate. They unorganized, going through some shit already. I thought that was interesting.
And I'm just directing properly, right? I'm not saying you lost one, you messing up. I'm not saying you messing up or nothing. You're doing your job, talk to your people, go ahead. It's the way in, go ahead.
Remove your privileges if you're gonna keep on cutting me off. Like I said,
we didn't get there yet. That's all.
Hey, nah, fam. Nah, that's real talk. You know what I'm saying? The moderator.
I don't know why Top Cat was up there, yo, other than clout. I don't understand why he had so many people up there. That was crazy. That's why I don't like doing any fucking debates on his shit. That's why we do ours over here.
All you here to do is, brother, you have to sit back. You're not more important than the fighters, respectfully. So we're gonna give them space to do them. This is not your show. You had a chance to take a fade, you turned it down. So me and you can get it after they done. You feel me? So we're gonna let them do their thing.
And this is how the shit started. Straight up. You know, they didn't have it organized over there. And that shit looked like amateur night. I'm gonna keep it real. But I'm gonna move along real quick. I'm not gonna play the whole debate. Like I said, if you guys want to catch the whole thing in its entirety, I suggest y'all go over there and watch it and stuff like that. But if y'all want to see a little comprehensive breakdown, y'all stay in here, make sure y'all hit the like button and all that good stuff. But I'm gonna fast forward to just a couple of key parts, and we're gonna go through this shit and see what he was talking about. Let's see, I'm gonna go to about right over here. This is his little introduction here. Trying to relate skin pigmentation to the natives and stuff. That's where he's going with this. All right, here we go.
Human history. The selective sweeps for genes linked to lighter skin, including the SLC2485, the SLC4582, and the TYRP1, only emerged within the last 11,000 years to 19,000 years. Prior to this period, human populations that migrated out of Africa, including those that settled on Europe, did not possess this allele for lighter skin. So do you understand what that means? That means there was only Nigroid people on this earth. I'm laying the foundation before we get into America, right? So you need to know, once we get into this topic, when we get into these fossils, that these people could not have been Native Americans, what you call Native Americans today, because this particular gene, the SLC45A2, did not exist on this earth when we get into these particular fossils. It says the
10
data.
minutes left.
Excuse me.
10 minutes left.
Okay. The data suggests that the lighter pigmentation developed as a relatively recent adaptation, long after the initial waves of modern humans left Africa and spread across the globe. Now it says, given the appearance of.
Now you notice he said out of Africa. So he's using the out of Africa model to try to explain that Africans or the so-called Black Americans have been here the longest. That, you know, you got to watch out.
The SLC 24A5 occurred no earlier than 19,000 years ago. It indicates that for millions of years before the time, human populations were predominantly darker skinned. This aligns with the idea that the original human populations, including the classified as Nigroid, were the first to inhabit various regions of the earth. And it says, this is the last one I'm gonna read right here concerning this. It says, these populations who carried the ancestral G allele associated with the darker skin were the only humans living on the planet for the extended period before the mutations that led to lighter skin pigmentation, which I mean Native Americans, Caucasoid people. Now,
all right, I'm gonna stop there real quick. So basically, he is referring to the SLC24A5 gene, which is inherited by Europeans. Okay, what he failed to do was tell the audience that the Native Americans have a different gene variant. They don't carry the same white pigmentation gene variant like the Europeans do. That's why Europeans are more susceptible to skin ailments versus the natives. Okay, so I'm gonna try to share my screen real quick. Let me remove this here, and I'm gonna go try to share something real quick with y'all about Native American genetic ancestry, so we can get a clear look at that. You know, there are different variances when it comes to genetics and stuff, and you can't just say, okay, the natives got the SLC gene. That's not necessarily true. So we're gonna pull that up. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Everybody hit the like. Okay, so this study is the Native American genetic ancestry and pigmentation allele contribution to skin color in the Caribbean population. And I just want to skip down to a key point in skin pigmentation variation. Okay, it's okay right here. eLife Digest. The variation in skin color of modern humans is a product of thousands of years of natural selection. All human ancestry can be traced back to African populations. He didn't say that, which were dark-skinned to protect them from the intense UV rays of the sun. So he didn't mention any of that stuff. The dark skin gene actually originated in Africa. Over time, humans spread it to other parts of the world, and people in the northern latitudes with the UV developed lighter skin through natural selection. This was likely driven by a need for vitamin D, which requires UV ray protection. Separately, genetic mechanisms were involved in the evolution of lighter skin in each of the two main branches of human migration. So listen to this. It says the European branch, which includes people of Indian and subcontinent of Europe, and East Asian branch, which includes East Asia and the Americas. It says a variant of the gene SLC24A5 is primarily contributed to light skin of the color of the European branch, but a correspondent variant driving light skin color evolution in the East Asian branch remains to be unidentified. Right? Remains to be identified. So basically right here, it's telling you that they don't have a variant that we can call out for Native Americans like we do the SLC2A45 gene, which the Europeans inherited. So that was wrong automatically. The SLC gene is exclusively a European gene. They have not found that variant allele yet. But they do know it's associated with East Asians. You know why? Because Native Americans originated from East Asia approximately 50,000 years ago. So that's something that the brother didn't convey enough. If you guys want to check this website out, I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up again. It's titled The Native American Genetic Ancestry and Pigmentation Allele Contributions to Skin Color in the Caribbean Populations. I thought that was a pretty good article. But that's like amateur mistakes. So the dude that was debating him didn't really catch this. So I thought this was important to kind of bring to the family so we can, you know, there's two different genes. When it comes to whiteness, it's not just one gene that went across the whole spectrum in Eurasia. The Europeans developed a different variant of that light pigmentation gene, and the East Asians developed a different variant of it, which is not to be identified yet. So I want to close that out real quick and go back.
Just letting you know.
All right, hang on, let me go back. And then secondly, he gets down on fossil remains and stuff like that in America. Now we all know life didn't start in America at all. But this brother's trying to convey that life started in America with certain fossil remains that he's discovered, you know, according to his logic here in America. And we're going to go over that real quickly. And this dude just goes crazy with the dates. And I just find it hard to believe the dates that he put out there for the fossil remains. And I just want to go over these dates. He was real smooth, real quick with it. I got to give it to him. He had a lot of shit. He had his PowerPoint type presentations out, and he was just, you know, and when you're trying to create an argument and stuff like that, it's hard for the people, you know, if you're flowing like that, and if the information seems to be good and people don't got the time to fact check it, you sound like you make some sense. But when you go back and do the homework and check this shit, no, there's no way. So we're going to go to a part in the debate that raised a red flag for me. Susan, you still there, bro? All right, so I'm gonna go back to okay. All right, so we're gonna go to another timestamp here, and I think we're talking about fossil remains at this point. Okay, like I said, I'm not gonna go over the whole thing, but let's hear what he got to say about these fossil remains in America now.
Okay, now we move into the oldest modern human. Okay, this is
the oldest modern human is what the boy just said.
Gonna basically put a punch into that out of African theory, even though the various sources you read and see that was using the term African, that's just a placeholder for darker skinned people, which I just showed when it said the GGLAO, which said darker skin.
He might have knocked the whole out of Africa shit out the park, y'all. Hey, hold up, man.
Asian
this
and
is
African
it.
ancestry. Now we go into this source right here, publication of Augusta Daily Chronicle and Centennial. 1860, February 7th. Right here it says Agassiz has a human jaw and a portion of a foot taken from a Congo Morai rock in Florida, which he thinks is at least 10,000 years old. He said he might add 100,000 years as well. Dr. Dickerson has a portion of a human pelvis, a true fossil attained near Natchez, Mississippi. And it says the sorry, I'm messing up on this shit right here. Tertiary deposit. It says supposed to be 100. It says supposed to be 120,000 years old. The world-renowned Guadalupe fossil, to which no antiquity has been assigned with any degree of probability, is certainly as old. In fact, no definite time or age can be ascribed to any fossil. And it says we can only approximate to it, and that not very closely. We may say of fossils that they are 10,000 or 100,000 or 500,000 years old, and yet that will seem short on the geological I can't really see it, computations. I think it says that. But we got it over here where it gives spells the numbers out: 10,000, 100,000, 500,000. Remember what I just said. There were no other people on this earth outside of 19,000 years. We reaching to 100,000 to 500,000. That's one score, which had to show that the Guadalupe people, and you can look these people up, the Guadalupe people are Negro people, Nigroid people. All right. Going to the other source.
But I didn't go back. I didn't hear that part. He said the what?
Say that again.
He said the Guadalupe was what?
Let me go back.
It says supposed to be 120,000 years old. The world-renowned Guadalupe fossil, to which no antiquity has been assigned with any degree of probability, is certainly as old. In fact, no definite time or age can be ascribed to any fossil. And it says we can only approximate to it, and that not very closely. We may say of fossils that they are 10,000 or 100,000 or 500,000 years old, and yet that will seem short on the geological I can't really see it, computations. I think it says that. But we got it over here where it gives spells the numbers out: 10,000, 100,000, 500,000. Remember what I just said. There were no other people on this earth outside of 19,000 years. We reaching to 100,000 to 500,000. That's one score, which had to show that the Guadalupe people, and you can look these people up, the Guadalupe people are Negro people, Nigroid people. All right. Going to the other source that proves the claim, right here, the case of the Miocene man is still dealing with the same thing. I'm jumping on. So right here it says in 1983, it says W.R. Cooper published an article, an Australian creationist journal, ex Nila, something like that. He claimed that a totally human fossil that been found in a supposed 25 million year old layer Miocene deposit on the West Indian island of the Guadalupe. The species, which was presented to the British Museum in 1812, was, according to Cooper, hidden from the gaze of the public after the advent of Charles Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection. So they telling you they found a full human remains, modern human. This data to be at least from 10,000 to 25 million years, and they found it in the tertiary stratum.
25 million year old skeleton remains in America, y'all.
How old is the tertiary stratum?
Oh my God.
Right here in the Miocene stratum. You see right here? They say they found it right there. When it says the Cenozoic, it says 23 million. Now we go back to right here. I'm gonna go ahead and yield my time on this, but after I bring this out, this right here is the case of the Calaveras scores, Edward C. Lane and Robert E. Ginton. Okay. And it says, while the Calaveras is Spanish for scores, one score is particularly stands out in a country's history. But I'm gonna jump on down here, all the way down here, because they telling you who discovered William Jones and stuff like that. But it says Jones was told that the skull was found among ancient gravels 130 feet below the surface of the James Madison mine shaft on Bald Hill, just outside the Angel's Camp. If the skull was deposited at the same time at the surrounding gravels, it would make it the oldest known human fossil in the world, in between 2.6 million and 5.3 million years old. And this is from the book right here where it's found, called the Paleontology Volume 2, 1860, when it says they found it in the Pliocene stratum with human skulls near Angels Camp in the Calaveras County. Back to it again. They said the Pliocene, they said 5.3 million. No Native American, no Caucasoid, no other people was on this earth besides Nigroid people. Okay?
All right, so we're gonna stop this right here. He said a lot of stuff, yo. Woo. Okay, so he mentioned a Calaveras skull, and he mentioned a Guadalupe fossil, and he mentioned that the these remains go back millions of years ago here in America that predates anything out of Africa. If I can recall, I think he said the same thing when I debated him about 2-3 years ago. I think he said he's still saying the same stuff. Now, when you break down this information, it doesn't check out. Okay, so we're going to go over it. Okay, real quick. There's no way that humans was existing in the Pliocene era. Humans, anatomically modern humans is what I'm talking about. So real quick, we're going to go take this down real quick, and we're going to go over some of this stuff right quick. This is wild, man. This is funny as hell. All right, I'm trying to find. Okay, so this site is the Charleston Museum. This is talking about the Guadalupe fossil, and I think Brother Suden kind of pointed me out to this particular part of it when it talks about the date. Is this all a damn site? Hold up, I thought there was more to it than this, y'all.
What are you on the Charleston Museum?
Yeah, this is it, ain't it? This is it, right?
Can't see. Yeah, that you got to keep going down. You looking for 1837 or 1813?
Does this look familiar right here? It don't go down no further than this.
What you do? Just take a screenshot of this shit?
Nah, that's what I'm saying. This shit cut off, man.
I'm about
okay.
to reset it.
Let me read what it says real quick. It says when the music, hold on. It looked like it cut off. Okay, when a museum is as old as the Charleston Museum, there is an ample opportunity for commemorative events. August the 2016 marks the 200th anniversary of the acquisition of the significant artifact of the fossil of the Guadalupe. Portions of the fossilized human skull from that island were donated to the Charleston Museum in 1816 by Dr. Felix L. Heimner. The museum also purchased his extensive collection of mammals, birds, skins, and seeds. The French naturalist then became the first salaried curator of the museum, a position he occupied for years before returning to Guadalupe. The fossil of the Guadalupe speaks to the broad connections of Charleston as well as to the long history of the museum. A second Guadalupe specimen, a skeleton minus the skull, was found on the board of French ship captured by the British in 1810. This find was deposited in the British Museum in 1813. The specimens attracted a great deal of attention and were originally believed to be the great antiquity of, therefore, the scientific puzzle. Zoology keeper Charles Zonget studied the British Museum specimen in 1814. Dr. James Martrey published a Charleston Museum skeleton in 1837. Naturalist George Carvers studied the specimen in 1830 and determined that they were human bones from relatively recent times. There you go. It looked small, in a concentration of hardened sand. So right here is telling you that when they studied this thing, is not as old as what they were saying. Okay, Charleston Museum skeleton in 1837. It says the naturalist George Carver studied the specimen in 1830 and determined that they were human bones from relatively recent times in a concentration of hardened sand. Interest in the specimens waned, and the site fell into oblivion. A third skeleton was sent to Europe in the early 19th century, and this one was accessioned to the National Museum of Natural History in Paris. This particular specimen raised the interest of Dr. Andre Dupont, curator of the Collections of Americas at the Musée de Quai Raleigh in Paris, if I'm pronouncing that right. Andre contracted the Charleston Museum a few years ago and visited it in April during the research trip in the US. He examined our samples and concurred with the 1985 geological analysis by Dr. Kurt Wise of Harvard University, and determined that the British Museum and the Charleston Museum specimens are from the same site. Andre provided us with new details on a life of the Elheimer and the significance of our samples. He also brought us up to speed on the site that produced our fossils 200 years ago. So instead of 2 million years ago, these damn fossils aren't that old. It says this site, known as the Morale, is located on the eastern coast of Guadalupe. This site is still intact, but is actively eroding, constantly revealing new finds. Exposed areas were excavated in 1960 and 1990. The Morale has produced multiple skeletons or burials, as well as pottery and stone artifacts deposits about 2,000 years ago. Not 2 million, not 2.9 million, not 5.9 million. We're only pulling out artifacts between 200 years and 2,000 years old from this burial site or whatever. The burials are trapped in a beach rock that calcified quickly, creating the stone or fossil specimens. In 2005, the site became an archaeological park. The fossilized fragments will be on display throughout August in our storeroom showcase. So you can still look at this, and they're telling you as early as 1860 or whatever that date was, that they found out these particular Guadalupe skeletal remains that Natural was championing on his video, whatever, on the debate, are earlier than that. They're not millions of years old. So that's cap. That's major cap. Just to let y'all know. And
yeah, you would have to put other humanoids here, which we
right.
don't.
Now he said something about the Pliocene, right?
The Mycene or some shit.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I'm gonna yield my time.
My bad. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna put something back up real quick, because he talked about the Pliocene period. Now that's approximately 2.9 million years ago, and let's just look up what the hell was going on around then, or what is that area? Okay, the Pliocene area. This is the area. This is the date. Like, this is why time is important and knowing timelines. The Pliocene is an epoch of the geologic time scale that extends from 5.3 to 2.5 million years ago. That's how old he said these fucking bones were in America, family. Okay. just to be clear on how old he's trying to get this shit to be dated in America. It is the second most recent epoch in Neogene period in the, I can't even pronounce that, Synzozic era, if I'm pronouncing that. These some weird ass words. The Pliocene follows the Miocene epoch and is followed by the Pliocene epoch prior to 2009 revisions of the geologic time scale, which placed the four most recent major glaciation entirely within the Pliocene. The Pliocene also included the Geologian skip stage, which lasted about 2.59 to 1.8 million years ago. But anyway, this was a long ass time ago. And it's interesting that he's talking about humans in America, right? That's 2.9 modern humans now. Okay, he's talking about modern humans in America during this time, because that's what he got on his presentation wall, right? There was no modern humans walking around on Earth 2 million years ago. Just so we're clear. Okay, now modern humans, let me see, let me take this down again and show this. You want to know who was on Earth at that period? The only thing walking around was Australopithecus africanus. And this is what he hates to talk about. Okay. So this was the only hominid on Earth walking around that old. Okay. Australopithecus afarensis. I always mess these names up. Australopithecus afarensis is an extinct species of Australopithecines, which lived from about 3.9 to 2 million years ago. Where? In East Africa, not in no motherfucking America. So the only thing that we have that old walking around on Earth, the location would be in Africa, bro. We got the bones that was discovered in Africa by the Leakley family, which is the Lucy skeleton that he always talks shit about. That's why Africa is the home of human life, because you have all types of archaic hominins coming out of Africa. Australopithecus, Africanus, you have all types of them coming out. Okay, so this particular hominid was not walking around in America, okay, because they wasn't walking around that much. They had a small amount of bipedalism hominids, and Australopithecus was one of them, but they wasn't walking to the extent of walking out of Africa. The only thing that walked out of Africa initially first was Homo erectus, and that was 1 million years ago. And they didn't make it to America either. Australopithecus didn't make it to America. They didn't make it out of Africa. And once Homo erectus left, they only went around the Eurasia a little bit. So the boy, this is another red flag that we got to just kind of watch out for. That's some bullshit. Total bullshit. Australopithecus africanus was the only hominids walking around that long ago. And he talked shit about them. But they didn't have anything over here walking around as far as human life's concerned. So that's cap, major cap, major cap, major cap. What else I wanted to go over? Let me see. I think, damn, I don't know what timestamp that fucking book was on.
If you can't rebuttal that,
Trying to see. I'm trying to see what book. that Roland Damn Dixon book, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. Okay. There we go. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up after this one. Okay, so he brings out this book by Roland Dixon. We talked about this, I think, a couple times, and he's using this to talk about Nigroid skeletal remains or whatever, which is an outdated term that the scientific community don't even use no more. It's more of a racist term, and they don't use that shit no more. But at the time, Roland Dixon talked about some Nigroids, but there's a certain page in this book that I don't think Natural read. So let me see what he got to say about it.
To prove that the proto-Negro.
The proto-Negroid is what he's talking about.
Are earlier than previously assumed. Now, I ain't tapped into. Oh yeah, I can say that too. I can go ahead and say that too. Cause I didn't go over the source about it, but we can later if we got time. Where it go? I just lost it. Here it is, right? Immunity and disease resistance. Remember, I was talking about the GGLAO carried the immunity to malaria. Malaria is the oldest disease on this earth. You have to be the oldest person on this earth to have immunity to a certain disease. On the Negro population, this is the racial, historical history.
Yeah, my bad. This is it right here.
Of Man by Roland B. Dixon. He studied at Harvard, Massachusetts. He was at Harvard University.
5 minutes.
And he was an assistant at the anthropology at Peabody Museum. Get to the main point right here. To show you that the proto-Negro people were black people, and stature probably tall, the proto-Negroids may be supposed to have been dark brown in skin color with strongly curly or frizzy hair. Pay attention to this part, because y'all just said, how can we prove that the modern Negro people is the people of ancient time and pre-Columbian time? This right here proves it. It says, among those who remain within the tropical environment, the pigmentation was intensified, the hair became increasingly woolly, so that the Nigroid peoples today, there's you and I, there's C3, there's Top Cats, that is you, that is Dunny. It says, may be regarded as much blacker and with hair much woollier than their remote ancestors of 30 to 40,000 years ago, the proto-Negroid. Now,
all right, proto-Negroid. He's a big fan of that word, proto-Negroid. Big fan of the word proto-Negroid, which is crazy. All right, hang on, y'all. So Roland Dixon, this is the book he's quoting from. And he's talking about proto-Negroids. So let's go to the book real quick and see what Mr. Dixon has to say about the term proto-Negroid. What the hell? Okay, there we go. All right, I think this is on page 401. This is the introduction. Okay, it has been pointed out in the introduction chapter that the type to which, from example, the name of proto-Negroid has been given carries with it no implication in regards to skin color, hair from, or any other superficial or structural features which may be found in the modern Negro. So he's basically saying you can't just match Negroid and expect to be talking about Negroes. It says the statement that certain crania from North America are a proto-Negroid type means nothing more than that is so far as the factor of the cephalic index, length, height index, and nasal index are concerned from the crania are similar to the crania of African. So they're basically not telling you, it's just said they're not found in the modern Negro. So he's using racial terms, but he's trying to say these ain't the Negroes of America, pretty much. So I just wanted to point that out. That was my last little fix. And that's on page 401 of that same book that he was talking about. And there you have it. Like I said, on the outside, it looked like he won that debate. It looked like it appeared like he was winning because it seemed like he had his sources in check and stuff like that. But when you cut through the evidence, you understand that these fossil remains are fake. Matter of fact, let me see. I got one more thing to show y'all. I missed something. I missed that skull. Let me leave no stone unturned real quick on this nigga. Okay, so the skull that he was talking about right here, it says the Calaveras skull, known as the Pliocene skull, was a human skull found in 1866 by miners of the Calaveras County in California, which was presented as evidence that humans were in North America early during the Pliocene epoch, at least 2 million years ago, which he's talking about, right? And which was used to support the idea that humans, mastodons, and mammoths had coexisted. It says the skull was later, let me blow this shit up. The skull was later revealed to be a hoax. Okay? Although it is known. Yeah. Let's not forget that this is the last part of the shit. It says the skull was later revealed to be a hoax, although it is known that humans and mastodons and mammoths had indeed coexisted, but much earlier and recently. Okay? Not no fucking 2 million years ago. We're talking about maybe 12,000 years ago. I repeat, maybe 12,000 versus 2.9 million years ago. This was a fake. A fugazi. You got to do better. You need more ounce to the bounce, brother. Stop bringing these old, outdated, fake ass skulls up. This reminds you of the Peltdown Man. The Calvin skull from William Henry Holmes, primarily debunk of it. See, this is amateur night. It was a hoax. The skull was later revealed as a hoax, y'all. So when next time y'all talk to him, just be like, that's not true. If you look up, you just look up the shit and it'll tell you it was a whole hoax. Not to be believed. And there you have it, family. That is it. That's how you put somebody's shit in. So the difference is homeboy didn't have time to check this shit in real time. I felt bad for him. You know, had he had an opportunity to check it while he was listening, I think he would have been able to quote at least one or two of these things on the spot like that. He should have had more time to prepare for the debate. I think they set it up real quick. And I don't know why they had so many people on the platform with him. I think the next time you should know better than to do that. That's just too many people up there creating distractions and shit. When it only should be maybe 3 people up there, the 2 people that's debating and whoever's going to moderate the whole thing. You don't need no promoters and all that shit up there. I think that was just too extra for them. It kind of broke the concentration, the little concentration that my man had. But yeah, big hoax, man. So yeah, the skull was a hoax. Today we learned that the only thing that existed 2.9 million years ago was in Africa via the Australopithecus africanus. Okay, this didn't exist in America. Skin pigmentation. We also learned that Native Americans carry a whole different variation of skin pigmentation. They don't carry the SLC 485 gene. That's more of a European variant. And when it comes to being white or being light, there's a variation of those genes. You just can't look at the European gene. You know, that's why they're more susceptible to sun diseases and shit. Natives don't get that much damage as white folks do, right? So you got light-skinned natives, you got light-skinned Europeans, right? But they're more susceptible. So that just tells you that they just have a different gene variant that helps them fight off the UV rays or protect them from the UV rays. And that's about it. We're going to wrap this shit up, man. Make sure y'all look at the other video that I posted from yesterday, Indigenous to TikTok. Anybody that want to debate us, y'all got to meet us here on the Square Truth and set that shit up properly. Over here, we'll have a moderator. Over here, we'll have your time. Over here, we're not going to have a lot of people in the room. It's just going to be you and the moderator. I'm not biased at all. Once you're in here, I'm going to give you respect. All of the fellas at the Syndicate, that's what we do. So we come to push. And we'll be back later with some presentations. We just got to set a date. And we'll be trying to put some more information out for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. We appreciate y'all pushing with us today. I'm going to close out. And we're going to play this music. You got anything to say, Big Pusher over there?
No, I'm good, man.
He's silent but deadly.
Then we can set it up.
Yeah, set it up, man. We're here. We are here. If anything happens to TikTok, this is where we're going to be. So get used to having us on your couch saying, fuck your couch, nigga. And come up here with these real receipts and get in the stage. We want all the smoke that goes for anybody that wants to debate the Out of America thing or whatever y'all be talking about or whatever. You got anything more to say, bro?
Oh, I just said if they want to debate the Out of Africa, versus Out of America, the human evolution, all they got to do is bang our lawns. We ain't running from nobody with that shit.
We're not running. Just let us know.
They want to debate the same shit. Where black people in America for 1492. How many debates we gonna have on that same argument?
Yeah, y'all should know.
Pick a new topic, nigga. Y'all keep taking L's on that shit.
Y'all should know better.
So, and if you pull out black sources, nigga, you're gonna have to pull out some Afrocentric niggas that believe the African came over here first, niggas. Checkmate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all his talking points got him in a corner. And if the dude was kind of smart enough to pick up on it, he could have just killed them.
He didn't put up that many. I think he put up like 3 sources.
Yeah,
then he
and it made it look bad. You know, everything he said was on point.
Made him look bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It made him look. It didn't make him look good. It made Asher look pretty good. It made Asher look like he knew what he was talking about. But like, if you don't look at it and check it and stuff, you don't. And the crowd walks away thinking, you know, he had a win. But when we clearly saw that he don't. We went through everything in there that he was talking about. The skulls are fake. The dates are too much. The genetics are wrong. There's all types of holes in the presentation that I think the dude should have picked up on that he didn't. So that's the difference. I don't want anybody saying that he was the Syndicate. This wasn't our homie. We're a little cleaner than that. Nah, you know, he was a lone wolf on this one. Y'all don't know if it was us, we'll handle it in a different way. We would have been able to catch some of this stuff early and stuff. So I don't know. But yeah, we'll be here pushing. Make sure y'all stay tuned, hit the like button. Make sure y'all watch all of the videos that we put out beforehand. Make sure y'all click the notification button, get notified. Like I said, we'll be over here hanging out a little bit more often. Shout out to everybody that's missing today, Rob and Mo. Shout out to all of y'all, Rev, everybody. But we're gonna close it out, and I'm gonna play our little intro song, and then we're gonna be out. All right, so you gonna be on the talk later?
Say that again.
You gonna be on TikTok later?
Yeah, later. I gotta go to the store at 4 something.
All right. So everybody, make sure y'all follow Big Suitin on TikTok. And follow this channel, follow the Big Push channel, follow Rev channel, follow Mo's channel, follow all everybody, because we all do the same shit. But I'm gonna close out. All right, brother. I'm gonna let you down, man, and I'll catch up with you later on the other side soon.
All
right, brother. Peace. Peace to everybody. If you guys want to watch the whole debate in its entirety and stuff, I suggest y'all go over that way to natural page. Is the whole thing's on there, so you can see it and you can kind of judge for yourself. and then come back here and see exactly what we talked about pertaining the specific key points and what he was talking about. And then you can kind of say, all right, I can see the holes that we saw. So when you look at it at first, you might not see it because you're not really studying. He was really slick and it looked really good. I got to give him credit for the optics of it. The optics look really good, but the information was bad. The time dates and all of that stuff was wrong. The genetics was wrong. So all of that was bad. But I'm out, man. I'm gonna close out with my music. Make sure I hit the like. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. May the push be with all of you.
The Syndicate is a team of researchers dedicated to restoring African history, culture, and greatness. Yeah. Yo, the winds from the Sahara carry whispers of kings, golden crowns, royal thrones. Yo, we built these things. No sculptures in the dirt. What's a dime in the clay? They try to bury our greatness, but we rise every day. Benin's gates gleam, steel sharper than blades. Art so divine, man, even time's amazed. We charted the stars while the world stayed blind. Africa's heartbeat, never lose your mind. Garvey laid the vision, black star in the sky. Said lift your head high, never bow, never cry. Unity is armor, power's in our name. From griot chants to street poets spitting flame. The Syndicate, it's the power of the push. From the roots to the crown, yo, they can't overlook. The Syndicate, black unity is trust. Forever African, it's bigger than us. Yo, we fix bronze heads, tell a story of pride. Ashanti's gold glimmers with the ancestors' guide. The knowledge from Timbuktu wasn't just for the rich, it was seeds for the future, truth carved in the script. Look back, Sankofa, we reclaim what was ours, planting seeds of the past while we reach for the stars. West African wisdom still flows in the veins of the brothers and the sisters, breaking modern day chains. Power ain't in trinkets, it's the soul that we clutch. They can steal the resources, but the culture's untouched. Yo, unity's the weapon and the mind is the shield. African greatness, that's the battlefield. The Syndicate, it's the power of the push. From the roots to the crown, yo, they can't overlook. The Syndicate, black unity is trust. Forever African, it's bigger than us. We ain't lose the war, they just shifted the game. But the drumbeat of Africa still echoes the same. Kente claw flows like the Nile through our blood. Royal lineage shines even when we're in the mud. We architects of rhythm, designers of the sound. Bird civilizations where humanity's found. This ain't no fairy tale, this the essence of life. Africa's the sun, yo, we're giving it light. Garvey whispered dreams, but now we're shouting it loud. Black unity is power, we ain't blending with crowds. Yo, the Syndicate's the squad, the culture's the flame. Stay true to your roots and never forget the name. The Syndicate, it's the power of the push. From the roots to the crown, yo, they can't overlook. The Syndicate, black unity is trust. Forever African, it's bigger than us. The Syndicate, it's the power of the push. From the roots to the crown, yo, they can't overlook. The Syndicate, black unity is trust. Forever African, it's bigger than us. They tried to write us out, but we rewrote the book. Africa ain't just the past, it's the future. They tried to write us out, but we rewrote the book.